Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and the EPEC challenge here on One Last Turn. Last time we primarily focused on getting Corby up to a 4 cargo type city, and we momentarily succeeded. And then we went ahead and set up a route for food for tow law, and then Corby rescinded its expansion, so we gotta get that back. But we know it's possible, we know it's coming, we just gotta stay diligent with the deliveries there. Today we are going to increase food once again, get a little bit more grain onto that line towards the cargo hub and then towards the food production. That way we should be able to get Tola the food that we wanted to get it last time. And then we're gonna look at the machines. To be fair, we're probably gonna start off with machines. See if we can't expand upon that a little bit, just so it's ready for when Corby gets going again. And then, if time allows it, which I think it should, we will be looking into what we're gonna do about fuel. And we have a couple of options that we're going to talk through and sort of explore together, and we'll see what we end up doing. First off, we have the steel. And I think the best or easiest way, well, it is the machines, but it's steel that's the bottleneck right now. And I think the best way we can sort of expand upon that would be to upgrade the trains. They're pretty old. They're using the old wagons and stuff, so I think we could do with that. I just want to check out here. How big is this? This is 40, 80, 20, 160. It's 200. So we do have a little bit of room to work with. I'm assuming the other ones are the same. And these are 190 meters. So yeah, I'm just gonna, let's see here. We're just gonna replace them all together, get on a new locomotive as well because it's running with the old G3. Let's see what we can do with the PLM, and we might end up going with the A35, but the PLM is cheaper. So if we can do it with that, I think we probably should. It's for not for transporting steel itself, it's for the iron and the coal, so we're gonna need gondolas, and we want to go up to 190 meters. I think 197 is probably too much, so let's go with the 187. That gives us a capacity of 36, so 32 more capacity. And medium speed on 47, which I think is pretty much what we already have. But the flat speed is gonna be 60, so it is gonna be slightly faster. Now, what would happen if we, and this is 14.5 million, what would happen if we go with the PLM, the A35s instead of the PLM? It's gonna be 4 million more expensive, as well as like 700k a year more expensive. But speed wise, it's just gonna go 80, so that's, well, it's not, it's like 60% faster for 100% increase in maintenance. I think it's gonna be fine. Let's I mean, I do want to increase the rate, so speed is gonna do that for us. Let's just check it out. See how the rate is gonna jump. It's gonna jump to 311. I actually am unsure what it was at before. Let's see here. It was at 520, and then no. I guess we'll see. I'm not sure how to read this compared to the rate, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that for a little bit, see what that sort of does to the steel production. Another thing is we do have a little bit of steel just sitting here, so there is something also to be said about our transportation of steel down to this factory. We do have the opportunity to transport it along the train line instead. That'll free up some emissions. It'll free up some... How much is the yearly running cost? It's negligible, so that's not really gonna do anything there. Oh, that was a single one, of course, but yeah, still pretty negligible. 100k. It is going to be easier to scale. There's no doubt there. We're just going to have to see, but we'll start off... Actually, let's just start off by changing all these for DMGs, because there's no point in these being horse carriages anymore. We are even sort of close to a new vehicle, so definitely want DMGs on here. That's gonna up that rate a little bit. 150, probably not enough. We'll see. Now I do want to check up here a little bit. Okay, so we do have the goods. Because I changed this last time, right? That we won't be mixing them. It'll be two different deliveries. Just wanted to make sure that the goods were being taken here, so they're not just sitting idle. But it does seem like it got that under control. Cool. How are we doing with Corby? Sorry about that. How are we doing with Corby? It is food that's taken a little bit of a hit. That should pick up now that we got rid of toll law. Food distribution. At the Corby train here, it is just about to get back. I think it'll pick up and be pretty much on its way. $338. Okay, so while we're waiting for the steel and then the machine to sort of catch up to our changes there, let's connect Burber's farm up to Burbridge train station. We can get rid of this road here, I think. How about this? Yeah, we can get rid of this at least temporarily. Just sort of see. We don't really want tunnels here, not for this. I think tunnels are more suited for it's just more suited for what should we call it? For trains. Because the acceleration is a much bigger factor with trains than it is with road vehicles. I think this is gonna be fine. We are snaking ourselves a little bit here. Maybe take it back just the once. It's gonna get better. A little bit, not a lot to be honest. And do we... No, if we go up, it's gonna make us a bridge. Though I would rather, I guess, have a bridge. Then again, maybe we do this in pieces. Yeah, that looks much better. Cool. And then we're just do we want to connect these up? Don't really care for it, but narrow angle, what do you mean? Really care, but then at least we don't have just stragglers running about. Let's get a truck station. We're gonna throw him here somewhere. I mean, preferably he'd be on the right side of the road, so they can just turn right out. So he needs to be up here somewhere. That's fine. And then we will have a truck unloading stop just up here. Do we have a road? Do we have one in Tola? That's a little far. Is it? Yeah, it's a little far, isn't it? We'll just throw one down here between Boroughbridge and the farm. Get some DMGs. Let's say 8. And we'll throw that on a new line here. Boroughbridge. Grain supply. Sure thing. It's gonna do a rate of 42. That's fine. Either way, it's gonna... We are slightly over rate here on the CH1 grain supply, so we can even upgrade these trains probably a little bit. Yeah, they're only 90 meters. So if we were to throw on an extra set of gondolas on each of them, I think they should be able to absorb that extra grains. Those extra grains that we're sending them. Question is if they'll become too big for their stations. But we can just increase that station there. That's not an issue. Just curious though, if how well it fits into the station right now. Yeah, no, it has plenty of space for expansion. might as well just do that now then. Edit both of them, throw in an extra gondola. It's not going to do anything to the speed either. There we go, and that ups the capacity to 246. No clue why all of these went directly for the... That's silly. For station 2. We are gonna fully load grains at Berberth South, though. Might as well just send these back. They're just gonna run there on their own and then turn back because they got nothing to deliver anyways, so yeah, we might as well do that. Okay, so how has this affected our steel supply? 444 throughput on the steel and iron. Finances, we did 800k and now we're doing 900k, so we're not losing money on the upgrade. That's, I mean, I guess somewhat the important part. We are definitely having some more throughput. More stuff is definitely being delivered at least. How does that affect our machines factory? It's starting to get upgraded because we did reach some more production, some more shipments, which is cool. We have a ton sitting and waiting here on this steel supply train, machine supply train. Why is that? I guess it cannot follow along with the supply. So let's upgrade that train, shall we? Let's just replace it, really. PLM should probably be enough. It can do 60 right now. How long was it? It was 128 meters. So if we go for 128, 31, get 80 capacity, we get more speed. For 5 million, I think it's probably going to be a worthwhile upgrade. Right now, 43 rate, 57. See how that does. I mean, because we are also we're bringing them home on the food train, or to Ashton-under-Lyne at least. They're being taken back on the food train, and they have plenty of capacity. Some of them even run without. So okay. Yeah, transport is a little low there. We probably... Oh, this is overflowing. Don't want that. But we probably want some more... on the Northern on Derwent. Some more rates. Cool. We'll keep an eye on these things a little bit. Let's head on back to Corby and see. To have some... I'm not saying congestion, but Corby Conmats at least isn't getting the full amount of construction materials that it wants. Can we get some more stone supply? We probably can squeeze in another guy or two on that road. A lot is waiting on the Conmat supply train. How about we look at upgrading him? 106 meters, 52 capacity. .64 capacity, same length pretty much. Medium speed is a little low though. Do we need to upgrade to the PLM? It is quite the increase in yearly cost. How is that with these? That is also actually quite the increase. So maybe we don't change too much here. Besides, if we were to change one train, we do sort of need to, at least locomotive, we do sort of need to change the other ones too. Otherwise, the fast ones are just gonna run away with all the capacity. Why is this guy waiting for a free path? There should be a free path. Or maybe not. Don't I have... Okay, there's no... Just missing a signal. I thought there would be a signal here. Let's do it before going into the tunnel. These are supposed to be one way. Yeah, definitely want some signals on this path, so that doesn't happen, so it doesn't just sit and wait for no reason. But yeah, if we have two fast trains, or one fast train and one slow train, obviously the slow train is gonna make the fast train wait. We don't want that. Okay, so I saw one thing regarding fuel near South Cave. Okay, so that's this guy here. It's not really anything we can use. There's no... I mean, there's plenty of oil wells, but there's no fuel refineries anywhere near it. Okay, we have some good distro that was... We have some grain waiting to go. Don't want that to fill up either. Let's see, is it this guy maybe? How they're doing 218. Is the new gondolas? Can we throw on one more without, no, without changing their speed? But 2 kilometers lower an hour on the medium probably isn't too bad. It is a pretty flat train. Yeah, so that should probably help a little bit with the rates there. Cool. Oh, and let's just check this one as well. Everything is doing good. We are sharing machines and goods on this terminal here, but there doesn't appear to be any issues, at least right now. Window is getting what it's asking for pretty much, at least. Okay, so regarding fuel, oh, actually, two big guys waiting here. That's a lot of people. How about here? Not so many people here. Where is the passenger train? It's all the way over here, but there's so many waiting on this bus stop. It's a little unsustainable. Let's double and just one more on that guy. See how that works out. But what I was gonna say is this is a lot of people wanting to go on this line. There might not be too many in Corby or in South Cave, but we could add another, or probably should add another cart. Question is, should we do a compartment or a six-wheeler? We'd probably have to do the six-wheeler, otherwise we'll go down to 60 kilometers an hour. Don't want that. Let's just throw one more on there for 84. And now, whoops, now we can talk about fuel. Wendor doesn't want fuel yet. Corby doesn't want fuel yet. But eventually we do need to get fuel down here. Halstead and Tola wants it now. So I was thinking we could bring it to our cargo hub and start sort of distributing that out a little bit. Get a few more cities to receive 2 cargo types. And then who knows what the other ones around here are gonna do once they arrive at the conclusion of 4 cargo types. So I think getting fuel up here is a good idea. Now, what do we want to do then? Well, we have 3 options, like I said in the beginning. There is sort of a possibility up here. There's actually sort of 2 ways to set it up, but there's 2 fuel refineries. There's only 1 oil refinery because we're using the other one over here for plastics, and that's not going to change. We have 3 oil wells, which is nice because we need, it's a 2-to-1, so we do need 2 to go into this oil refinery. So we could do sort of a straight line here, and then on its way back we bring the fuel back down to here, and then we can either transport it via train, so pick it up at the station here, go through South Cave somehow connecting to this set of train tracks. I'm not entirely sure how. It's not really set up for that. I mean, the station could be on the outside here, so we could just skirt along the edge of South Cave and then skip the station and enter onto this line. But that will allow us to go to the cargo hub. However, we would have to redo some of this and the station a little bit to allow for an express. We probably should do that anyway with this goods distribution and any sort of further distribution from the hub to South Cave. So that might not be the end of the world, but that is possibility 1.1. So because we have 4 possibilities, because we could also, and this is just maybe just a little bit more for fun, we could, oh, and we got a new truck. Very nice. Very nice. 2 new trucks. Very nice indeed. Faster trucks, I believe more capacity as well. We'll take a look at those in just a second once we've gone through the options for fuel. No, we could put them on trucks here at the station down to a harbor, and then with a big oil tanker move them down to South Cave, put them on a train here. That's sort of the same sort of a line there. Or we could move them all the way down here to Norden on Derwent and put it on a train that follows the machine trains route. That train route isn't that efficient, right? It's pretty windy, and it goes up and then it actually goes back a little bit and around, so it's not really that efficient compared to how much money it'll make. But I don't think that should be the issue. I think it could be fun. Alternatively, we can bring it even further down to around here where there's another oil well. Pick up the oil on our way back, making the tanker a lot more profitable. And yeah, and take some more oil, have probably a dedicated oil train that just goes between these two instead of going all the way up to the oil refinery. That could do something good for us. Then we have to get the fuel from here, and I would probably just make sort of a straight path that goes onto the rail that we have over here, but that means crossing the grain line here either via bridge or tunnel. Not the end of the world, but I'm not sure I like it too much either. That sort of concludes the options we have with this refiner up here. So either train down to all the way, or halfway with a tanker and then train the other halfway, or halfway with a tanker to here and train with the other half, something along those lines. Alternatively, there's also the possibility of a oil line here or fuel line here, straight line, well, semi-straight. We gotta avoid this mountain. Then we have fuel up here by Buxton, and then getting that over to Wendover North becomes a little bit more cumbersome. So I'm not sure that's the best either. Getting it back, though, we could take it down back here. We would need to use both of these oil wells, so maybe we do oil well 2 to the oil refinery to the fuel refinery, bring it back over here. This is pretty much in the middle of the map, which wouldn't be the worst place. It could be pretty decent actually to have another cargo hub. So we built a new cargo hub here that ends up crossing the river and then probably hooking up to either directly to the train station on Ashton-under-Lyne or just to the tracks just past the station. That could be a possibility. To be honest, I hadn't really seen that possibility earlier, so that might actually be quite interesting. Because the other alternative is we already have a fuel setup down here by Broughton, which is, it's not all the way in the bottom of the map, but it is a little bit closer to the second half. Like our Wendover North or Cargo Hub 1 here isn't exactly at the top. It is a little bit down from there. So we could just have 2 cargo hubs. Instead of a top, middle, and a bottom, we have a top and a bottom cargo hub, and then we have all these decentralized hubs. Or not hubs, but stations. That does sort of align a little bit better with that, because this hub that we put up here is relatively close to Wendover North, whatever it's called. And then if we were to have a second one down here, it would have to be very far down. Which isn't necessarily an issue, it's just different. Than otherwise. So I think it makes more sense to make a hub near Broughton. Broughton itself, pretty hilly within mountains, so we probably need to move it a little bit north. Or south, I guess, but there's a lot of mountain here. We could change up this. It doesn't have to be a loop. I was writing, there was a comment on one of the earlier episodes that mentions or asks why we're doing a loop here, and well, it's more just of a habit than anything else. It doesn't have to be a loop. It could just be a straight line, double track, going back and forth. And that means we could also move the station to the Broughton station to this side, make it more straight, and have that be sort of a hub. It's a little on the tight side though. Distance between the refinery and Broughton, so if we were to make a hub here, there wouldn't be much space for it, so I think it does make more sense to move it out here somewhere. Probably somewhere along here. And then we can just traffic stuff up there as much we want. We would have to take the fuel and truck it up there. I think. But that's fine. I mean, that's not the worst thing. But I am sort of conflicted. On what we're gonna do. It would be nice to get back down here on Broughton. So maybe that should be reason enough to do that, to move a little bit into this area of the map. But then again, that would just require us to move back and forth on the map a lot more. So maybe it's better to sort of stay in the top, get that really under control, and then once we're done there, we can move back down here and start. I do sort of follow and like that rationale quite a bit, so I think we're gonna do that. So that sort of leaves us with this setup up here. I think no matter what we do, we're gonna need a line here, so let's just build that. And then we can check out those trucks. Let's go to cargo station. I was thinking we'd get rid of this road, but if we need to deliver fuel to West Bromwich at some point, which we will, it would be easier to just truck it. But we can build that road if and when it'll be necessary. So yeah, let's just get rid of this. Cool, now we have our station here. No, we want 2 tracks because we want to pick up 2. We can just put it pretty much like this, right? A little turned so we can curve on the outskirts of West Bromwich. Here I was thinking, do we want to get 2 tracks? We don't really need it. We want 2 tracks, but not necessarily 2 platforms, but I guess we can just get rid of the platforms. It's just easier to just add the tracks instead. Let's go here so we don't dig too much into the ground. Like so, and we know this is going to be a terminus station. We're not going to go any further from up here. Or will we? No, we'll just truck to Southwick if necessary. Damn it. Gotta remember to hold down the correct buttons. Okay, so a little bit of a street there. Oh, a new boat as well. Interesting. A bit of a street there, and we did already connect down on the other one. We do want to get a extra set of tracks here. 80 is probably too small. Not sure why it's set to 80 on track length. So let's remedy that. 160 sounds a lot better. We're cutting a lot through the landscape here. This looks a lot better, but it cuts the road. So let's just temporarily get rid of this road and we'll re-establish it afterwards. Yeah, I like that. Like that. Yes, let's do that. And then of course we're gonna need it to be double tracked. One building will be removed. Oh, that's annoying. So we do need to curve a little bit more outside. Probably somewhere along here is a good place to have it, I think. Yeah, let's go for this. And then we'll just see what kind of curvature we can get here. We can get 120. We don't have to have that much of an embankment or cut. This looks pretty decent to me. And it could not follow that set of tracks. Wait, didn't I? I guess not enough. Oh well. Cool, cool, cool. That's sort of that part, at least. We do need to get a train onto this line, and seeing as how it's not connected to anything, let's just reestablish this road so we can reestablish the simulation. There we go, that doesn't do anything to the tracks. Then we're gonna start it up again. And I'll just throw down a train depot here. Like that, and then we probably want to get some diamond crossings here in front. There we go, double slip, yes. It shouldn't really be necessary, I think. But now we're doing it anyways. There we go. Okay, train. It's gonna be a tanker. We might as well do the A35. We know it's gonna make money. 126 capacity. That sounds pretty decent to me. I'm not actually sure how much. I think we're doing 117 on the plastics. Do we go all the way to 152 in length? That's just under the length on the track. Sorry, the stations. Yeah. So in West Bromwich, it's gonna fully load. Forever, it's gonna pick up oil, not unload anything. In Spalding, it is gonna it's gonna full. It should full load all. It should full load all. And of course, the train is going the wrong way. It should full load all. It's gonna load oil and it's gonna unload crude. And then in Lower Spalding, it is going to unload oil. It's gonna pick up fuel, which is it's not gonna wait forever on. I'm just gonna pause so we can turn the train back. It is gonna wait. Okay, so there's two possibilities. Either we make it wait forever, well, not forever, but until it sort of fills up, but there is a loss. Yeah, let's do full load of any. That way it should sort of the next time it'll be back, there will be some from the first time, and then from then on, it should be like sustainable. So let's do that, and we will just did not make it out onto the track there. Now we can swap it, and we'll just rename this Spalding Fuel. That's what it is, right? And then we can figure out what are we going to do about this fuel. We can figure out that in a little bit, but first I want to take a look at how everything is doing, and then we'll take a look at the trucks. A lot of machines overload. Maybe that's good as time as any to check out the new trucks. We got the tarpaulin and we got the side stakes. So side stakes is for steel, so that's for this, and the tarpaulin is for anything else. It has slightly lower capacity, so the side stakes one, definitely the one to go if you have, if it's for those cargo types. It is almost twice as fast. It has more capacity, more loading speed, less emissions. Obviously, it's more expensive to run, but it is a no-brainer to switch to the new truck here. We probably don't need 24 of them. We'll just see what it does to the rate here. It should, yeah, pretty much exploded. So we're probably gonna want to redirect some, or just in general just get rid of, maybe we'll get rid of 8 of them, down to 210. That also sort of alleviates the issue of them being stuck sometimes a little bit due to trains. But yeah, we are producing about 215, 210, and that is about this rate actually, so that works out perfectly. I think also just for the simulation, let's upgrade all of our trucks to these new trucks. Managed vehicles, we've got 36 running here. That is definitely gonna be overkill. But we can redirect some to another route. Yeah, it is definitely overkill. Probably 6 too many. Put on the eye. What do we want? Something with locks. Wendover locks. No, still too many, right? Because this is... I guess it's technically not too many. It is a little bit because we want to match the steel rate. So let's move these to Wendover locks as well. So we get to, okay, 222, that's close enough. Then we want only 400. So I guess we only want 200 on this one because we can't produce any more right now anyways. Wendover locks, 500, definitely too many. Except for these, we will replace them with these stake sides here, and that lands at pretty much twice what we need. So let's get rid of probably like 18. Slightly under, so we probably want one more. Which we can take from the planks. Yeah, that should do it. A lot less icons running around now. Additionally, the loading speed is higher, which means that it'll actually, they won't be stuck here as much waiting, which is gonna be nice. Then we have Corby and all of these con mats don't supply. It's definitely gonna be overkill as well. This needs to be the tarpaulin truck, unfortunately, so slightly less capacity, but still good. 500, yeah, that's too many. Let's get rid of 6. 412. Could probably get rid of one more. Yeah, okay, so that's slightly too little. We'll move one onto this line to make up for that. Corby con mats. This is also going to reduce the emissions on Corby, which is nice. We can do these side stakes ones. Definitely move one of them to stone supply, and 14 is probably too many. Let's go for 10. For 100 rate, that sounds pretty good. And then we have this. Let's probably try and hit the 200. So probably 5. Yep, that's about the same rate. A lot less vehicles on the road though, which is good in my book. These food delivery trucks we have as well. Managed vehicles. I mean, the other thing is that when we get new trucks, so does the private citizens, or at least in somewhat tandem, so we don't want to be running these slow trucks inside the cities for too long because it'll cause traffic jams. Let's see here. This is going to be all cargo. What's the rate right now? It's 90. Ooh, and new locomotive as well. Interesting, interesting. It was 95. It's now 126. It's probably one too many, to be honest. 100 sounds good. Then we have all of these deliveries. And we have something going on with the Halstead goods supply that we have to figure out, it seems. But let's just manage the vehicles. Okay, let's get rid of half of them. And then we'll replace with trucks here. A 30 rate, that's interesting, I would have thought. Oh well. Maybe we'll move some over from the other. This is just a singular guy, but we definitely want him to be the newer truck. And we have the same for Wendover goods. Singular guy. New truck. Then we have Wendover food. Lots of guys. Currently running 115. So 162 is probably too much. Let's get rid of 4 of them. Move 2 to Halstead and 2 will be selling. 140, 127. Probably get rid of 2 more, to be honest. 108. Sounds a little bit better. And Wendover con mats 114. Let's upgrade them. We can have the big boy truck, and we'll get rid of 6 of them. for 114. 40 there. Okay, where are our goods? What is happening there? He's just sitting here. No goods are being delivered. Okay. No steel is being delivered. Okay. No steel is being produced. Okay. Where are the trains? Did they soft lock themselves? How does... I don't understand how this happens. I really don't. But maybe... they can unload both. Maybe we just do full load any on these guys, and they should still full load because there's always going to be some. We are under the demand, or whatever you want to call it. We are under the supply. It's so weird. Well, that explains that issue. I still don't know why it happens, but that sort of fixes or explains that. And I just want to get these. Do the same thing here, just so we don't see. Although I haven't seen it happen here, it's only happening up there, basically. Oh wait, did I upgrade the trains? No, I didn't. I upgraded these trains. That's so weird. Okay, anywho, how is this guy doing? He's just sitting here waiting for oil, of course. And he's doing that because we aren't shipping oil like we should. Which is silly of us. So we do actually want some platforms on this side so we can have a building. That way we can set up a road. Like so. We'll have a truck station. We'll put them, let's just set it here. And we'll have an unloading place right here. And then we need a road depot for sure. We'll just put them here. Get some of these new guys. See how much we can do with 8 on a new line. This will be Spalding fuel oil supply. How's the rate on that? 96. Let's just double it here in the beginning either way. And I'm pretty sure Actually, why is that? Of course, it's not producing because we have no way to put the fuel. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. The rate here has picked up. Do have to get rid of some more vehicles. Damn it. Was one too many. Then again, this one has also picked up. The one hasn't, interestingly enough, but yep. How are we doing here? 233. I mean, so far steel is keeping up. Wait, what happened to... Why is Wendover no longer a consumer? They definitely are. That's weird. I mean, Ashton under Lynn as well. It's no longer considered a consumer for some odd reason. There we go, Corby. Nice. I don't understand. Norton on Derwent isn't consuming 100. Sorry, 200. So why did I change this to the wrong? I did. I did. It's not supposed to be a flat card with side stakes. That's on me. It's supposed to be a box card. We'll go with 88 capacity. But that is for sure what happened. Yep. That fixes that. I hope you guys caught that. I hope you guys caught it. Leave it in leave a comment down below if you were just screaming at your monitors that I was being a silly guy there. Okay. Cool, and yeah, we... Ooh, cool! Little achievement for maxing out a place. Wendover locks. We don't want to overdo it either, right? There's no reason to. So we might as well sort of try and trim the fat a little bit, if at all possible. Okay, let's create that demand for the fuel. Also for this, I guess. I thought it could transfer over, but I guess not. I thought it could transfer through the station. Wonder if it can. Oh, that's where the... I guess it would be better to... Oh, I thought... So the diamond crossing is a little bit in the way there. I was just thinking if we connected it up. No, yeah. How about we get rid of the diamond crossing here. Try with this road connection. Okay, so that does connect it, even with this stop. So that should do it. That should create some demand over here. Yep, consumers, cool. And then we can just, I mean, like I said, we don't actually need this. I just like having it. Especially when we're just running one train, right? It's definitely not necessary, but yeah, just like having it. Cool. Are we filling up now? Let's manage the line. We'll definitely want to load up forever on crude. Just want to speed it up a bit, see if we don't get some crude in here. Yeah, there we go. It is. Wonderful. Wonderful. Steel production slowed down a bit for some reason. Not quite sure why. Keep an eye on it. Okay, now we're doing some production on machines, sending some to Wendover, sending some to Ashton-under-Lyne, to Northern-on-Derwent as well, but yeah, not compared to how much it wants to produce for them. We have about 15 minutes left, and we have a tiny issue here. Should never be waiting for food. Why are we waiting for food? I mean, obviously we're waiting for grains. But we're only running 207 food, so we shouldn't be waiting for food. We're doing 247 there, and we're doing 208 there. So we should, yeah, we should never be waiting for food. Interesting. Overflowing on grain, so we could up that. Goods is still lacking a bit. We are producing again. Steel is a little on the slow side. We do have some laying around. There's a lot waiting to be produced. So maybe it's just startup difficulties. Though we can definitely change these out for some of the better ones. Up the rate a little bit, see how that affects things. It's probably too much, but a lot of plastics laying around. So let's do the same thing here. Swap for new trucks. I think that's gonna do us good. And just for curiosity's sake, wait, interesting. Our plastics trains are actually waiting a bit, which means that, yeah, they could be making more. Let's, I mean, this is only running 103. We never really upgraded this. So this is also going to do a big difference. 103 to only 144. That doesn't seem right. We went from horse carriages to, I mean, double speed and double capacity. It's probably just going to take a little bit to... Oh, I guess not double capacity. I thought they were only doing 4, but I guess not. Yeah, okay. But this is, I mean, it's not exactly an issue. Just throws it off a little bit. With our last sort of minutes here, let's create a place for that fuel to go. I like... actually, let's see what that new boat was. The Schaffhausen is a small size, all cargo, 130 capacity, so basically an upgrade and 400 loading speed. It's basically an upgraded Regi. We could upgrade our stuff running over here with that. For what we want to do though, we want an oil tanker. So we are between these two, same capacity. The Vandal is faster loading speed, not faster travel speed. Maybe the Schaffhausen is the way to go. It's also small, which means the harbors are cheaper. I'm just thinking that a smaller ship is easier. Vandal is cheaper, but it's negligible. No, we'll go with the Schaffhausen, I think. It seems just like the better boat. Of course, if we get another one, then Okay. Where do we put a harbor? Put a harbor. Okay. So okay. One more thought. I like this idea because boats. Boats are cool. I like this big river we have. I like the idea of using it. So for those reasons alone, I think we should do it. We're not going to be able to finish the setup this time though, because we're not going to be able to create any demand for fuel. So let's just throw it down to Spalding for now. And then we'll set up that true stuff. Like the real actual destination. We'll set that up next time. Okay. This is really taking a long time. Just gonna grab like half of these. Not even, I'm just gonna grab 4 of these. Put them on a new line up here. Spalding fuel delivery. We'll just send them up there because they are gonna be a while, it seems. It's interesting. I would think that the demand would increase faster, seeing as how the train is just sitting here half empty waiting. But I guess not. That's fine. This should create some fuel demand. On Spalding, which means it should reduce some fuel. Which doesn't really have anything to do with our line here. So what I'll be doing is temporarily. Yeah, we did set it to full load of any, so there's not going to be any. We can do the same for Spalding for now until that sort of fixes itself. And this way the fuel depot isn't gonna just disappear, or fuel refinery isn't gonna disappear, because we are actually doing some delivery. Cool. That is pretty much all we're gonna be able to have time for today. Just gonna go around and upgrade the vehicles just a little bit. Let's see here, replace. manage line. This guy should only pick up goods. And he should wait until there's some. Was the comments one set up correctly? It is. Okay. So just the other one. Yeah, we probably don't need 271. I mean, this we can almost just get away with 1. Because we don't really have that high of a rate with the goods. So 1 is enough. Maybe it's easier to look at it through this and see if there's any trucks that needs replacing. Did 2 DMGs here, so let's replace those. We did it here, we did it in Corby, we did it in Wendover, we did it for Halstead, we did it up here. And now we have goods going. Cool. Probably a few too many steel vehicles. Then again, 147 is what we're doing on goods. How about the rate? I think it should be possible to do that amount. Just needs to kick it up a notch. How about this? Yeah, that did go up with the rate. Oh god, here we have our guy down here. Oh, we upgraded these guys. Nearly 200. Which is good. Doing 88 steel, which is quite a low rate, but it's not too bad for both Wendover and Ashton-under-Lyne. Obviously, it needs to keep increasing if we want Corby in on it as well, but right now Corby just wants 6 pieces, so we'll get him his machines and goods. We'll get those to them in the next episode for sure. This is just under 400 exactly. This backlog should fix itself. Not quite sure, to be honest, if it will, but it should. But to get more machines, we need more steel. We can't sort of do things to the steel line apart from what we already did, right? We did upgrade the trains. They were doing 600k in profit, and they're still doing that, so we're happy. But we can throw in an extra train, upgrade the stations a bit, make it truly 2 ways, so there's room for it. Because right now it's doing 400, and we would need it to do 800 probably. We are within a reasonable size of trains though. They fit. But apart from the steel, we're also gonna need, if that is 200, then that is the max we can do right now anyways. We're not shipping 200, we're producing well over, but it's gonna go down to 200. We do also need to get some more wood into the sawmill. And where we are gonna find wood for that sawmill, I am not sure. Because we do also need to get tools going. Now we have fuel. It's not in the cargo hub yet, but we do have fuel up here in the north. So next project is probably going to be tools. Norden needs it, and Wendover and Corby will need it eventually. Not right now, but eventually. Eventually everybody will need it. Northleach needs it right now. So can't just use all the logs for the sawmill. But that is an issue for next time, or issue for a little bit into the future at least. This has been all for this episode. I know that we didn't necessarily hit any new large milestones apart from maybe how is our balance looking. Oh, so close to 200 million. No crazy new milestones, but Corby is now a full-time for cargo hub, a cargo type city. We did get fuel up and running, albeit a little bit slow right now, but it'll get there. We got some new trucks. And we got machines really pumped up. That is definitely the major takeaway from this episode, is that machines are doing a whole lot better than they were. We also got a little bit more grain sent down to Ashton-under-Lyne. So that is mighty fine as well. We did unlock a new locomotive. We didn't really have time to look at it, so we'll look at it probably a little bit more in the next episode. But this is it's another BR. It's the 6C, 90 kilometers an hour. About half the power of a little bit more than half the power of the A35, but also half the price in maintenance. So that might be worth looking into going with that one instead. It is basically just a better PLM. Right, it has the better speed, so we can get up to our full speed on our new carts with this one, instead of going all the way to the A35. So that is definitely something to look into in the future. Let's hitch a ride along one of these new cool trucks. And then we'll just say thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you're enjoying this series so far. If you have any comments or wishes or anything, leave a comment down below, and I promise that I go through every single one and respond and all that stuff. Really take it to heart. This series is just as much for you guys as it is for me. I do enjoy the game a lot. Really looking forward to Transport Fever 3 when that comes along. Please leave a like and of course subscribe to the channel so you can follow along with this series and other series that I am running. And of course, the notification bell is gonna help you get notified once a new video comes up next week. I do wish we could have just one last turn, but alas, that's gonna have to wait. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.